Welcome to the Homegrown Heart Podcast every Friday at 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time with your host, Dr. Amanda Ryan, DO, MBA, Interventional Cardiologist. This week's topic, benefits of having nonprofits in your community. Please help me welcome our host, Dr. Amanda Ryan.
Good morning, back in studio with Danny Fletcher this morning. Dr. Amanda Ryan, your friendly interventional cardiologist here in Eddy County, New Mexico. Wow, last Friday night we had our Dancing with the Stars through United Way. Even though Frankie and Caleb supposedly tied for the win, that's the first popularity contest in my life I've ever lost, and I'm still struggling with the L. But I'm begrudgingly happy for Little Digger Man and Caleb and their win. On a serious note, the committee for the United Way's Dancing with the Stars Eddy County, Mark Steiner, and all the United Way staff put on the most amazing event that I've really gotten to participate in Carlsbad so far. And that's saying a lot because we have our own foundation, Partners in Heart Health, and we put on some amazing events over the past year and have some in the works for this year. Our casino night's going to become annual with our second annual this August. So you'll have to catch us with that. But it's so amazing. There were so many local vendors, quality work, everything from the food to the balloons to the drinks to the pictures. There was just to the limo service. Kyle and the committee covered everything. Again, Catalina King, what a beautiful young woman, successful, encouraging. She made a lovely MC. The Utah Ballroom Dance Company, if they could teach me a dance in 2 hours a night for 5 days, I'm pretty sure they can convince anyone to dance. Now, teach anyone. Now, Kyle said there's lots of people coming out of the woodworks now that, quote unquote, how do I get picked? Well, I promise you won't be getting a lot of competition from me to be a dancer in the future. I think I'm a one and done, but I'm hoping Kyle selects me as a judge potentially for next year's event. We raised $85,000 for the United Way of Eddy County, which serves so many purposes. That oftentimes helping people with utilities, food distribution, just so many different causes. And over my 10 years in Eddy County, I've had a chance to see so many servants' hearts. There are so many people in this community, so many businesses that are really contributing. We had a lot of Perry Oilfield Services, of Devon Energy, so many big sponsors for these events, really showing that they do care about our communities. And again, Partners in Heart Health is our foundation. Why did we create our foundation? Tammy Wacker came out here. She's amazing. Shout out to Tammy. Tammy serves 80 roles in our practice, including revenue cycle management and foundation director. As part of that, Tammy's helped us write grants to get our organization going, which she has a lot of experience doing. She's also a career ombudsman. If people don't know what an ombudsman is, that's someone that represents our elderly or our developmentally delayed in communities, making sure that they're getting appropriate care, treatment, that if they have any kind of issues in their home life, that they have an avenue for reporting and getting the help that they need. So Tammy is definitely an amazing person to really run a foundation, she helped get this idea from a concept to a reality. Again, I think I've said before, she got our 501 status with the IRS approved in about 4 months, which is somewhat unheard of. They're not looking for not-for-profits to be just tax shelters for people, and that's certainly not what we're about. Or the tax bracket I'm in, for that matter, that needs some kind of just tax protection. So with that being said, it's very rigid about how you can move through your bylaws, how you have to have a board. Wow, I have some of the most amazing board members. And these were people that were already very busy. But our board is hand-selected of people that are involved in Carlsbad and Eddy County and really have a motivation to make the healthcare better and to listen to how we should accomplish that. Again, there's a lot of chatter now, and I've alluded to it in previous podcasts, but there's a lot of chatter about what should be the next move in Eddy County healthcare. And everyone has a lot of ideas, and ideas are great. But again, I need actionable change. The same thing I say about the crisis in rural healthcare in America in general. Healthcare is in crisis on a macro level, and Eddy County healthcare is in crisis on a micro level. Okay, we all understand that. I think we're well informed on the crisis of it all. The issue that we have is, again, how are we going to turn our acknowledgement of crisis into actionable, positive changes? That's where a lot of discrepancy starts. That's where people become unfamiliar with what the plans really are, or where they should be. Where should we go? As a partner in the only new large Eddy County healthcare facility, to my knowledge, in the last 20 years in our area, along with Clay and Linda Wilson, Linda Stone, and myself, we've brought and a large team of people on everything from construction to AHV&M to advanced ASC to Partners in Heart Health employees. I can tell you that building a shiny building is the least difficult part of the project. Now, it is amazing to provide care in a state-of-the-art facility with technology that's, the minute it comes out, we're trying to get our hands on it. That's amazing for Eddy County, for our patients, and for us. But the reality is the staffing crisis in our area is so dramatic. And I see some people minimizing it too, like, oh, we were able to hire people. Okay. I'm talking about qualified, experienced healthcare staff. And as a 5-year business owner in this community, I'm struggling with it, and I have struggled. And as a startup that was creating infrastructure, being leaders and doers, I have lost several very good members of my team. And shout out to all of you, no matter what you've went on to do. I'm proud of you. I'm appreciative of you. I respect what you've done for the community and our practice while you were part of it. Every single person that has touched our practice has made a positive impact in some way on the practice and on our patients' lives. But sometimes the overwhelming busyness and responsibilities and lack of support that are coming from some of our political aspects, some of our overall healthcare situations, have in fact made continuing with our practice not the best option for some people. Replacing them has been nearly impossible. Again, the average nurse in America currently that graduates in 2025 will have a 9-year career in nursing, 1 year at the bedside, and then switch into some administrative role. That is crazy when you think about it. It's crazy. What is the problem there? Like, we have to root cause analysis this. What is the issue? Why is my little cousin Mallory med-surg nurse for a year and now in case management? Why is that her choice? Mallory dreamed of being a nurse. It's not just a job. It wasn't a convenient program at a local college. It wasn't those things. Mallory dreamed of being a nurse. And she set her sights on it. She worked very hard, college volleyball player, and she stuck to her goals. And she was able to become a nurse, and she loves being a nurse. But the requirements of her night shift job and the number of people she had to care for and the number of medications that she was responsible for and the total care, including changing the bed sheets and taking the patients to the bathroom and feeding the patients. And there's nothing wrong with those tasks. But you can't do that for 8 to 10 patients a shift and think you can give good care, because you can't. So you have a bright, motivated, servant's heart young nurse who literally lasted at the bedside 18 months. And we need good case management. And I'm not saying anything wrong with case management. Those are planning what the patients are going to do after discharge, helping make sure they don't, quote unquote, bounce back to the hospital unnecessarily. But still, how are we going to continue funneling bedside nurses if the average career of those graduating is 1 year at the bedside? I mean, common sense hopefully tells you, because it certainly tells me, that isn't an option. One goal of Partners in Heart Health was to educate more allied health professionals for Eddy County, particularly to focus on some returning students, some people that might have one role in healthcare. They've been a medical assistant, they've been an OR surgical technologist, they've done different things, and maybe they're considering nursing or medical school or becoming a radiology technologist. You know, all these different things. Maybe they want to go on and do something different. We have the advantage of having a supportive local community college. And working with Dr. Beardmore and the wonderful staff and the board of that, we've really, I think I mentioned last week, but we've been able to get approved, they have, through a lot of collaboration, a flex learning nursing program that if we can find some instructors for is going to start in the fall of 2026. That is really going to revolutionize our traditional approach with our college program that was pretty much an 8 to 5 Monday through Friday situation, which is great and works wonderful for a lot of people. And we have a strong program here with high pass rates, graduating quality nurses every year. However, we're not producing them fast enough, or not enough of them are staying in Eddy County. Again, that's one way to work the problem. Obviously, the job satisfaction, listening to our nurses that are in these clinical trenches about what their concerns are and what is pushing them to leave the bedside within 1 to 2 years is also an important way to attack the problem. Again, today, actually at 10 o'clock, I get to participate in a follow-up community survey working with what is our Carlsbad development plan. Reviewing the survey, which we got a good amount of participants in, the 3 issues: lack of affordable housing, education, and lack of access to quality health care. Those were the 3 overwhelming issues. And I'm pretty sure the survey that was done 5 years ago, those were the same 3 major issues. So we've done a lot to attack those problems, but we've got more to do. So we're going to talk with the committee about some of the ideas. I have a lot of ideas. Again, I'm working with the city administrators. I'm going to suggest a subcommittee specifically designed to address the healthcare needs of Eddy County, somewhat as neutral, unbiased people as we can get in this situation, which is going to include some people from inside our community, some people from outside, some healthcare professionals, some patients that are experiencing healthcare, some other business owners. You know, we need to get the right players at the table, and we need to have discussions that are realistic. And you have to be careful for self-serving motivations. And every single person, including me, has some self-serving. I mean, do I have a vested interest in the healthcare of Eddy County? You bet I do, for lots of reasons. Some of them altruistic, some of them business owner, some of them physician, you know, yes. So am I totally neutral and unbiased to every single thing that occurs? No, I'm not. I am the kind of person that can step back from my biases, try very hard to take emotion out of this. These are not emotional decisions. Okay, we need to figure out how can we educate more staff in the allied health field. That's problem number 1. Next, how are we going to recruit? Again, that includes physicians and nurse practitioners and physician assistants. How are we going to attract more providers? Next, what kind of facilities are we going to have for our patients to experience health care? What can we add to what we have already? What can we improve? Next, where are these people going to live? If anyone moves into our area to work, where are they going to live? Where are they going to shop? Where are they going to eat? Where are their children going to go to school? Like, this is a community crisis. We are growing. We have to figure out how to meet the needs of our community in the most appropriate manner. And I am here to participate in any way possible, as are my practices and our foundation, again, Partners in Heart Health. We are here. We appreciate any and all support that we get to help meet our mission. We had a patient come in yesterday, a husband and wife, very emotionally upset. They had recently lost their home in a fire. Their insurance was giving, all of their medications were either burned or unable to retrieve. Their insurance was sticking to that they would not refill their medications until the 30-day mark. They had a house fire documented all over the news. I mean, I just was like, and said, Dr. Ryan told me I cannot stop this medicine. This medicine is life-saving for me. I could have a heart attack with my stent blocks up if I do not take this medication. Our foundation was able to quickly give them, with a couple phone calls, just a small token to help relieve some stress on them so they can at least get their medications and potentially help them with a little bit of clothes or food. You know, that's exactly why we're doing what we're doing. You know, there are sometimes when you're looking on a large scale of, you're like, it's easy to feel defeated, like I can't save the world. But you can make a difference one person at a time. I have mentored a lot of different medical students, nursing students, rad tech students, cardiovascular technology students, you name it, medical assistants. If you want to learn and you come in contact with me, I'm here to teach you anything and everything I know about cardiology. I'm here to teach you how to connect with patients in ways that I've figured out over the last 25 years of my career. If I can create a legacy of mentoring and those people go on to continue making advances and differences in healthcare, I hope they surpass what I've been able to accomplish, because then I've been part of the overall goal. So this is really a PSA and a call to action that as a community and as a county, and really to my listeners in Florida and Illinois, as a nation, that we stop identifying the problems in healthcare and we work together to change. Again, buzzword for 2025, actionable change. Let's be actionable. Thank you.